Hi everybody, and welcome back to FANG Friday. This is Ross Healy, the Chairman of Strategic Analysis Corporation and Senior Portfolio Manager at McNichol & Associates Asset Management. First and foremost, please put aside next Thursday, that's October the 28th at noon. I will be back on BNN Bloomberg, really celebrating the start of what will be my 22nd year as a regular guest on what was then ROB TV and of course is now BNN Bloomberg. I suspect that if you hurry, you may still be able to get written questions to me by emailing it to marketcall@bnn.ca or tweeting @marketcall. Well, all eyes are on earnings now, and Netflix started out with a bit of a dull roar, encouraging, but not what I would call a barn burner, but still enough to get the stock in gear and hit a new all-time high, although not until after a day or so of kind of thinking about it. In addition, dull old Microsoft may be boring, but it's still the only other one of the FANGs to actually hit a new all-time high. As for the rest, we have yet to see what the third quarter hath wrought. Although, just as I was thinking that this is going to be a ho-hum week, with all of the FANGs advancing, along comes Snapchat on an otherwise clear Friday morning to really shake things up. However, before we take a closer look at the FANGs, as always, I do like to say thanks to everyone who likes this video and all our subscribers. Okay, we'll start with Amazon, and Amazon continues to move up slowly from really what is a 10-year valuation low at its HB2, which is 12 times its book value. And I see no reason to do anything about this stock, although I do have to say that in the back of my mind, it does occur to me that I want to keep a close eye on Amazon as perhaps a sort of a canary in the coal mine as far as the overall market is concerned. However, that's for another day. Netflix, well, here we are hitting a new high, and again, this is the second of the stocks in my Phantom FANG portfolio that I really like. Microsoft, look at that, just hitting a new high now. Little bit soft this morning by about $1, but steadily moving on upwards. Whether it'll get to its HB3, which would be 16 times its book value, I don't know, but at least for now things look promising. And the business of the cloud business is going very, very strongly for all involved companies. NVIDIA, after our lovely buy signal and the first buy or sell signal that I had had in some period of time, down at HB4, is continuing its nice rebound, and I expect that it's got a good chance of getting to its HB5. I do note, however, that in looking at some of the other stocks in the semiconductor industry, they're not looking all that strong, and Intel actually had some bad numbers. So I think we do have to be a little bit concerned about maybe not this company, but at least this industry. Apple, well, remember I had issued a buy signal on the Apple when it broke out of this platform, and I thought, okay, this looks good. Well, anyway, that didn't hold, and it had a setback with the market. But look, it's clambered its way right back to my buy point. And of course, what I'm really waiting for with Apple is the new balance sheets to find out what's really happened to the slope here of the book value. It's been rising strongly here, but we may well find out that that is not the fact at all, that having bought back a lot of stock, it may actually be falling, and in which case we may have actually seen an almost perfect low. However, we've got to get those numbers first. Facebook, well, I had sold Facebook a little bit belatedly, but I had sold it on the announcement of its latest scandal, and of course, right after that, the stock began to rally again. But today, on that Snapchat announcement, the stock is set back more than 5%. So remember way back here in 2018, did the same thing. It fell down to its mid-super growth price, rallied, but set back sharply. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens here at its MSG price. But remember that in the last scandal, there was a 2 breakpoint setback before it hit bottom. So I am not comfortable at all with even thinking about Facebook in a positive sense. Finally, Alphabet, which had done so nicely for me, and perhaps that was the reason that I kind of kept it in my Phantom FANG portfolio, as it were, because I thought that this breakout might be real. Going along with the bottom of Amazon and the breakout of Netflix was looking kind of promising. However, I didn't get a confirmed buy signal on the stock, and it set back. Now, it was clawing its way nicely back to its bubble price when this morning's Snapchat news came. The stock is off about almost 3%. So we shall see, and we shall see what happens when the earnings come out. I think of all of the FANGs, I will have the most tension, as it were, in waiting for the numbers from this company. In summary, there are now 4 stocks in our Phantom FANG portfolio that I am comfortable with. Amazon and Netflix, which have held their ground in the recent market setback, and NVIDIA, of course, which gave us a nice trading signal a couple of weeks ago. Microsoft continues to soldier on. I am crossing my fingers on Apple to see what happens when we get the next balance sheet. As for Facebook, you will recall that I sold Facebook in last week's webinar, and I still want to see what that fallout is going to be going forward before I would personally be comfortable touching this stock again. As I showed you then, following the last scandal in this company in 2018, the shares did drop 2 breakpoints before finding their feet. Caution remains my watchword for now, especially with the added Snapchat element now in play. Finally, and regretfully, Alphabet was retracing its recent setback up to its own bubble price at 7.4 times book value, but this morning has definitely added an element of wait and see and cross your fingers. My key takeaways for this week are, as far as the overall market is concerned, it seems to have got kind of tired of selling off and looks to be heading north again. Third quarter earnings results versus the analyst forecast, they have to be manipulated when 80% of reported results beat those analyst forecasts. But then, if I were a large company, I would fire my investor relations person if he or she failed to achieve that result. With this burst of encouragement, at least so far, as it is still early times in the reporting season, my low super growth price for the Standard & Poor's 500 seems reasonable and remains intact. However, not all earnings are created equal, and not all are going to be good news. Snapchat has definitely, abruptly added a very cautionary element to the market equation and may seriously affect two of the FANGs when they report. For now, this has been Ross Healy, the chairman of Strategic Analysis Corporation and a senior portfolio manager at McNichol & Associates Asset Management, reminding you that nothing, including investing, is difficult if you have the right tools. I'll see you on BNN next Thursday.